My friends, what is going on? Just finished making a video for my Discord, so while that's uploading, thought I'd jump in here and give you guys an AMC update as far as kind of what I'm seeing, how things are going. Before we jump into the video, you guys know the deal. Nothing I'm giving you is financial advice. Everything I'm doing is for educational purposes, so that way you can become a better trader for you, for your family, and for your portfolio. So having said that, if you haven't done so already, please follow me on Twitter, Colin_Gladman. Easiest way to get updates as far as what I'm seeing or important news or anything along those lines. Also, too, if the video is helpful to you, please like, subscribe, tell your buddies, all that kind of stuff. So what I was tracking, so I posted this 3 days ago, I guess, saying what I was looking for is a cup and handle to play out. And that is exactly what happened today. So going to jump over here into the chart. I talked about two super important levels, and that is going to be kind of where our supply zone has been for AMC lately. And it takes us back to our big tumble that happened in March, pretty much from April 26th to May 5th. So what is that, about 2 weeks we traded in this range right here. Once we finally broke down, then we had some opportunities where we tested it. We tested the top of the range, and we tested the bottom of the range. So once we moved back up into here, I talked a lot about how significant that was to break out, and then we actually tested it a couple of times. We did dip back underneath it momentarily, but those were some bad market days, and then curled right back up. I mean, AMC and GME are holding up way better and way stronger than the overall market, and that is awesome. So on my weekly outlook video that I posted yesterday, what I said was I was looking for a continuation here. We had right at the very last candle on Friday, we had the breakout of the bull flag handle, however you want to look at it, and we gapped up today. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is we gapped up today. Okay, so we've got a gap right here from 1537 up to, what was it, 1556, 1557. So I'm 50-50 right now whether or not I think that gap is going to be filled. Actually, that's not true. I more than likely think the gap is going to be filled. I think it's more likely the gap's going to be filled than not. I'll put it that way, okay? So maybe 60-40 if you want to look at it like that. So what was promising today is once we finally got over, this big resistance here at 1614, which was resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, now we finally got through, is once it started coming back down, I think like most people, I was anticipating a gap fill here, but wanted to see how it acted as support at that 1613 level, and it really never even got there, okay? It only came down to 623, or 1623 rather, before it started pushing back up. Now, what we want to see now is we want to see a higher high, okay? So we want to get over 1695. So obviously that psychological level of right around $17, that would be a huge victory for today. Now, you might ask yourself, well, where'd that resistance come from? Well, let's go find out. So, right here, every time. So, we had this range right here that we traded in. Now, our next range that we traded in is going to be right here. I talked a lot about how important this $19 level is going to be. And I mean, if you get right on to, once again, I'm talking about ranges here, just like before. I was wrong by 4 cents. I kept saying 1610 would be the range, and it actually turned out to be 1614. So once we actually get to these levels, then the details will play out and we can be a little bit more accurate. But so this is going to be the top of our next supply zone. Is going to be right here around that 1890 range. But where was the demand zone when it got pushed back up? Well, it was right here. And where did that lead? Oh yeah, that led right there. Perfect rejection. So you can see support, 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 kind of broke back in, broke in, and then look. Oh yeah, top of the previous range, support. And then all that support, it turned into resistance. So this is our next big level that we've got to get over. Would love to see a push over that in the coming days. If the volume is not going to pick up, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'd like to not leave this gap behind. But, if we keep pushing up and pushing up and pushing up, obviously, I'm like you guys. I'm okay with push-ups as well. If we do start to pull back a little bit, our micro fib from right here, we can look at, coming down here to the 382 at 1514 would get our gap fill, be testing the top of the previous range. That would be a great place to, so if we did this in the coming days, down here, touch, and then get rejected off that previous demand zone, come down here, touch it here, then meander on up here, and then break through, and then touch, and then here a little resistance, and then so something like that over the next few days. That would be great. Would love to see something like that. Once again, kind of goes into those J-shaped patterns that I'm always talking about. Overall market normally matters a ton, but we've been doing great. So let's go apples to apples. So here's May 12th. Since then, we've made a 74% move since our low over here at $9. So what date was that again? What did I just say? May 12th? So let's go apples to apples. So we've done nothing but go upwards on AMC, where the overall market is not. So the overall market is down 1.6%, while AMC is up a lot. So, and SPY's in a case of rising wedges. And while we got SPY pulled up, let's look at this. On the daily, just lost its 13 EMA. We got a bearish engulfing candle. Volume wasn't too picked up or anything like that. If this volume was way worse, plus we had that candle, man, I'd be saying we coming down, okay? But you got your supply and demand zones going right now for SPY. So overall, AMC looks good. I'm not sweating a gap fill retrace or anything like that. So we either need to get above 1695 or let's come get the gap fill over with. Those are, my bull case is obviously let's head to 17. My bear case would be let's go get the gap fill. I'm okay with either one, but that's what I think you're going to need to be looking for in the coming days. So I'll keep this update relatively short. That's going to be what I'm looking for. Know your resistance levels so you know when to get in and out of calls if that's your thing. But at the end of the day, trade your plan. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, my friends.